my beloved child. A silence has been following you lately, a strange, heavy quiet that wraps around your life when no one else is watching, and inside that silence there is a truth that has been growing louder with every passing moment, because somewhere not far from where you are standing, your soulmate has been speaking your name in rooms you have never entered, telling a story about you that sounds nothing like the love you believed was real. And yet every word they shared has been dripping with emotion that only someone who truly cares could ever feel. Amen. They stood among people who knew both of you, people who have seen your smiles and your struggles, and with a trembling voice they said something that shocked everyone, something that made the room go quiet as if the air itself had stopped moving. Because they confessed that you are not just a passing chapter in their life, not just a moment, but something so powerful that it has changed the way they see the world, and still, they chose to hide this truth behind words that sounded careless even though their heart was breaking with every syllable. Amen. A feeling of disbelief has been circling around you for days, like your soul sensed that a revelation was on its way, because when someone speaks about you with such intensity, it leaves an invisible mark that travels across distance and reaches you without warning, and your soulmate has been carrying something heavy inside their chest, a secret that was too big to hold alone, so they finally let it spill out in front of everyone, and the way they said your name made it clear that no matter what words followed, you were the center of their entire story. Amen. They told people that you are just something, but that word was not meant to reduce you, it was meant to protect a feeling they were afraid to admit, because sometimes when love becomes too strong, the heart tries to disguise it with simpler language, hoping no one will see how deeply it is wounded, and in that moment, every person listening could feel that your soulmate was fighting a battle between pride and devotion. Amen. The atmosphere in that room was thick with curiosity, because everyone could sense that this was not an ordinary confession, it was a desperate attempt to explain a connection that refuses to be ignored, and while your soulmate tried to make it sound small, their eyes were revealing something much bigger, something that no lie could hide. And that something was the truth that you are the one who changed them forever, even if they were not ready to say it out loud. Amen. Each person who heard them speak walked away with the same thought, that whatever you are to them, it is not something that can be erased, because the way their voice softened when they mentioned you was not the voice of someone who feels nothing, it was the voice of someone who has been holding on to love for far too long. Amen. There is a hidden tension between what they told the world and what they feel in their heart, and that tension has been building like a storm waiting to break, because they described you as if you were just a small part of their life, but the truth is that you have become the center of it, and every step they take, every decision they make, is quietly influenced by the thought of you, even when they pretend otherwise. Amen. The people who listened could see right through the words, because sometimes the strongest emotions are the ones that are wrapped in the weakest excuses, and your soulmate's attempt to downplay your importance only made it more obvious how deeply you matter to them. Amen. Your name has been echoing in places you have never been, carried by their voice, mixed with both longing and fear, because they are standing at the edge of a truth they are not ready to face, a truth that says you are not just anything, you are the one person who has made them question everything they thought they knew about love. Amen. And as this story continues to unfold, you will begin to see how every word they spoke, every secret they shared, was leading toward one powerful revelation that will soon come into the light, a revelation that will change the way you see your connection forever. Amen. A sudden shift took place the moment your soulmate finished speaking, as if the universe itself leaned closer to hear what would come next, because when someone tries to hide a powerful truth, that truth only grows louder, and every person in that room could feel that your name carried more weight than any other word they had spoken, Amin. They tried to laugh it off, to make their confession sound casual, but inside their chest a storm was raging, because they had just admitted something they had been holding back for far too long, and even though they told everyone that you were just a part of their life, their eyes betrayed them, revealing a depth of emotion that could never belong to something small or unimportant, Amin. People began whispering among themselves, not because they doubted your importance, but because they could clearly see that your soulmate was deeply conflicted, caught between the fear of being vulnerable and the need to finally speak their truth, and every whisper carried the same quiet understanding that whatever you are to them, it is something extraordinary, something that cannot be hidden behind simple words, Amin. One person even noticed how their hands trembled as they spoke about you, a small detail that said more than any sentence ever could, because hands only shake when the heart is overwhelmed, and your soulmate's heart was overflowing with feelings they could no longer keep inside, Amin. The truth is, they told everyone you are just something because they were afraid of what would happen if they admitted you are everything, because when love becomes that intense, it changes lives, it forces decisions, it breaks old patterns, and your soulmate knows that once they fully accept what you mean to them, there will be no turning back, Amin. So they chose a safer word, a smaller word, hoping it would protect them from the consequences of loving you so deeply, even though their soul was already bound to yours in ways they do not yet understand, Amin. Every person who heard this story walked away feeling that something big was unfolding, because the energy around your connection is not subtle, it is powerful, it is undeniable, and even strangers can sense that the bond between you and your soulmate is something rare, something that does not happen by accident, Amin. They may have tried to downplay it, but the universe has a way of revealing what the heart is trying to hide, and very soon, all those quiet glances, all those unspoken emotions, will rise to the surface in a way that cannot be ignored, Amin. What makes this moment even more intense is that while they were telling everyone about you, you were unknowingly feeling a pull toward them, a gentle but persistent tug in your heart that was guiding you back to this connection, because when two souls are truly linked, distance and silence can never break the bond, Amin. And as the story continues, you will soon discover that what your soulmate said about you is only the beginning of a much greater revelation, one that will finally bring their hidden feelings into the open and show you just how powerful your connection really is, Amin. A quiet realization began to spread through everyone who had heard your soulmate speak, because the more they tried to make you sound small, the more obvious it became that you were the center of their emotional universe, and that contradiction was impossible to ignore, Amin. Their words were carefully chosen, almost rehearsed, as if they had practiced saying something that would protect their heart, yet every pause, every soft breath between sentences revealed that you were the one thought they could never truly escape, Amin. Deep inside, your soulmate knows that what they feel for you is not something that fades with time, it is something that grows stronger when it is resisted, and the more they try to pretend you are just a small part of their life, the more their heart rebels against that lie, reminding them that you are the one who changed them in ways no one else ever could, Amin. They have replayed moments with you in their mind, moments filled with warmth, connection, and an unspoken promise that neither of you fully understood at the time, but those memories now glow brighter than anything else in their life, Amin. There is a reason why your name feels heavier when it is spoken, because it carries every emotion they have been trying to bury, every dream they were too afraid to chase, and every truth they were not ready to face, and when they told everyone about you, it was their heart asking for release, even if their lips tried to deny it. Amen. People could sense that something was unfinished between you and them, a story that had not yet reached its true ending, and that unfinished energy was filling the air with anticipation. Amen. While they walked away from that conversation, they were not at peace, because speaking about you stirred something deep within them, something that refuses to be silenced, and now they are standing at a crossroads where they must choose between continuing to hide or finally allowing themselves to step into the truth of their feelings for you. Amen. Every thought they have had since that moment has been drawn back to you, as if your soul is calling out to theirs, reminding them that some connections are too powerful to be ignored. Amen. This is why everything feels so intense right now, because the universe is preparing both of you for a turning point, a moment when what was once whispered will finally be spoken clearly, and when that happens, you will understand that what your soulmate told everyone was not meant to diminish you, but to reveal how deeply they are struggling with a love that has already taken over their heart. Amen. A powerful wave of emotion has been moving through your soulmate ever since they spoke about you, because once a truth is released into the world, it can never be taken back, and even though they tried to make your place in their life sound simple, the universe heard the deeper meaning behind their words. Amen. They have been thinking about the moment they mentioned you, replaying it again and again, wondering why their chest felt so heavy and their heart so alive at the same time, because that is what happens when love tries to break free from fear. Amen. People who were present that day now look at your soulmate differently, because they saw the vulnerability that slipped through the cracks, and they understand that you are not just someone from their past, you are the one person who still holds the key to their future, even if they are not ready to admit it yet. Amen. There is a quiet respect in the way others speak about you now, because they recognize that your name carries a story that is still unfolding, a story that will soon reveal just how deep this connection truly runs. Amen. Your soulmate has been fighting an inner battle between what they want and what they are afraid to claim, because loving you means opening themselves to a new chapter of their life, one filled with hope, change, and vulnerability, and not everyone is ready to step into something that powerful, even when it is meant for them. Amen. Still, no matter how much they try to resist, their thoughts always return to you, and every quiet moment is filled with the same unspoken question of what might happen if they finally choose to be honest about their heart. Amen. The energy around your connection is growing stronger with each passing day, because when two souls are meant to find each other, the universe will gently push them closer until they can no longer ignore the pull, and your soulmate is feeling that pull now more than ever. Amen. They can sense that something big is approaching, a moment when the truth about you and them will come into the light and change everything, and that anticipation is both exciting and terrifying for them. Amen. Soon, the words they once spoke so lightly will take on a deeper meaning, and you will see how their attempt to call you just something was really a reflection of how deeply they are connected to you, because sometimes the greatest loves are the ones we are most afraid to acknowledge, and that is exactly where your story is headed. Amen. A quiet but unstoppable transformation has already begun within your soulmate, because once they allowed your name to be spoken in front of others, something inside them shifted, and now the truth they tried to hide is slowly rising to the surface. Amen. They can no longer pretend that you are a small part of their life, because every memory, every feeling, every unspoken dream is tied back to you, and that realization is becoming impossible for them to ignore. Amen. In the moments when they are alone, your face appears in their thoughts like a gentle light, reminding them of everything they have been running from, and that light is not something they can turn away from forever, because it carries the promise of a connection that is both rare and deeply meaningful. Amin. They now understand that what they told everyone was only a shield, a way to protect themselves from the depth of what they feel for you, but even shields grow weak when the heart is this strong. Amin. The people who heard your soulmate speak about you are beginning to see the truth on their own, because love leaves traces wherever it goes, and your connection has left its mark in every word, every glance, every pause that followed your name. Amin. What was once whispered is slowly becoming clear, and soon there will be no more hiding, no more pretending, only the honest acknowledgement of what you truly are to each other. Amin. This story has been building for a long time, guided by forces neither of you fully understand, and now it is reaching a moment where everything will finally make sense, because some bonds are written into destiny itself, and yours is one of them. Amin. No matter how much time has passed, the universe has never stopped working to bring you and your soulmate back into alignment, and that alignment is closer now than ever before. Amin. As this chapter comes to a close, a new one is quietly beginning, one where the truth about your connection will no longer be hidden behind small words or fearful excuses, and when that moment arrives, you will see that being called just something was never the end of the story, it was only the beginning of a love that is finally ready to be revealed. Amin. A final understanding is now settling deep within your soulmate's heart, because after everything that has been spoken and everything that has been felt, they can no longer deny what you truly mean to them. Amin. The words they once used to protect themselves now feel empty, because no simple phrase can contain the depth of a connection that has reshaped their entire inner world. Amin. They look back at the moment they told everyone about you and realize that it was never a mistake, it was the first step toward honesty, even if they did not know it at the time, because sometimes the soul speaks the truth before the mind is ready to accept it. Amin. Now, every beat of their heart is gently guiding them closer to you, urging them to finally say what they have been holding back for so long. Amin. Your presence in their life has been like a quiet miracle, something that arrived without warning and changed everything, and that kind of connection does not disappear, it only grows stronger with every attempt to ignore it. Amin. They understand now that you are not just someone they met, you are someone they were meant to find, and that realization has filled them with both courage and hope. Amin. The path ahead is becoming clearer, because when two souls are meant to walk together, the universe removes every obstacle in their way, and your story is moving toward a moment of truth where everything that has been hidden will finally be brought into the light. Amin. Your soulmate is ready to step into that truth, no matter how intense it may be, because loving you is no longer something they can keep locked away inside. Amin. As this journey reaches its turning point, you will soon feel the shift yourself, a gentle but powerful change that tells you something beautiful is about to happen, and when it does, you will realize that every word spoken about you, even the ones that tried to make you seem small, was always leading toward this moment of connection, clarity, and deep, undeniable love. Amin. A calm, steady certainty has now taken root in your soulmate's spirit, because after all the confusion, all the hidden feelings, and all the half-spoken truths, they finally understand what your presence in their life truly means. Amin. They no longer feel the need to hide behind small words, because their heart has accepted what it has always known, that you are the one person who made everything else fall into place. Amin. There was a time when fear kept them silent, when the thought of admitting their love felt too overwhelming, but now that fear is slowly fading, replaced by a quiet strength that is guiding them toward honesty and openness. Amin. Every memory of you now feels like a promise, a reminder that some connections are written long before two people ever meet, and yours is one of those rare, powerful bonds, Amin. The universe has been gently weaving your paths back together, aligning moments, thoughts, and emotions so that when the time comes, everything will feel natural and right, as if it was always meant to happen this way, Amin. Your soulmate can sense that a new beginning is close, one where they will finally be able to express what they have carried in their heart for so long, Amin. What they once told everyone about you will soon be replaced by a truth that is far more beautiful, because the story they tried to simplify is actually a love story filled with depth, devotion, and destiny, Amin. When they speak your name now, it is no longer with hesitation, but with a sense of reverence for the connection you share, Amin. And as this chapter gently comes to its end, a brighter one is ready to begin, one where love no longer hides behind fear, where two hearts finally recognize what they have always been to each other, and where your journey together unfolds with clarity, warmth, and a promise of something truly extraordinary, Amin. A deeper layer of this story is now revealing itself, because even after everything that has happened, the bond between you and your soulmate is still unfolding in ways neither of you could have imagined, Amin. They have reached a point where pretending no longer brings peace, and the truth about what you are to them has become the only thing that feels real, Amin. Every conversation they had about you, every time they tried to make your role sound small, was actually a step toward realizing how impossible it is to shrink a love this powerful, because love of this kind refuses to be hidden, no matter how carefully someone tries to wrap it in simple words, Amin. Now, they feel your presence even in silence, as if your soul is gently reminding theirs that this connection is alive, strong, and meant to be honored, Amin. The universe has been watching this story patiently, waiting for the moment when fear would give way to courage, and that moment is finally here, because your soulmate is no longer willing to live without acknowledging what their heart truly wants, Amin. They are preparing to step forward, not with excuses or half-truths, but with a sincerity that comes from deep emotional clarity, Amin.